Ladies and gentlemen, if you clicked on this video, you saw one of these thumbnails, and all of them are true. It's currently 2 a.m. As you can see, I'm at this parking garage, and we're gonna go inside and make some garage inspired by Cloud9 and Burial. But it's kind of cold out here, so follow me as we head inside.
Alright everyone, I got the spot. I got FL Studio open on here. Pretty elite spot in my opinion. Fortunately the hat is not going to go on because the headphones and the hat don't cooperate. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Let's go 128. I'm sorry, it's hard to produce in gloves. It's kind of cold out, so I have these on. I might take these off. We've got a kick. Let's find a nice rim shot to act as our snare. I think I know the exact rim I want. It's shout out In The Mix. Shout out Michael from In The Mix. He's got this fantastic little rim. Alright, gloves are coming off. I cannot lie. This is quite difficult to do with them on. Now that we're unnerved, I was thinking we'd do kind of a drill pattern for the kick and the snare of this garage song. So, okay, it's not quite drill more than it's kind of ballet, kind of. I honestly might tighten up this kick a little bit. And now we're going to add the other sort of supporting percussion in those. Now, fun fact, Burial actually did not produce in a DAW. He produced fully in like an Audacity equivalent, basically. And so none of his drums are really like on beat. They just follow that one tempo, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the snap to grid. We're just going to place drums down and hope for the best. I like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I just saw someone walk by. Hopefully, okay, I think they seem to be going away. They were quite far. I do hope the authorities don't come after me as for making future garage, you know. I'm not as sure on the drums themselves. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. We have a drum loop. You know, this should work, I think. Now let's start, you know, the quintessential sound in a garage song is the respace. But first, actually, now don't think. Okay, now that I think, sorry, the lights just kind of dimmed over there. They're like motion activated. And I'm not there anymore, so they turned off naturally. We'll get to making a respace. Respaces are actually pretty simple to make. Let me show you all. What you're gonna want to do is open up a 3x oscillator. We're not being fancy for this. Alright? We're gonna have two identical saw waves. Just like that. About the same volume. And just fine tune one of them a little bit off. And you guys are about to hear the most majestic respace you've ever heard. But first, we kind of need to set up a MIDI. Oh, and also we're going to add a bit of, you know, stereo to some parts of the Reese in just a second. But for now, I'm just going to set up the other. I completely lied to you all. We're putting this on the mixer chain. I have two notes drawn here. I have this little patcher preset, if I can find it, titled Reese Sauce. And basically what this is doing is it's splitting the Reese into just the sub bass, which we want completely mono, and the rest, which we are putting a chorus on. And then we're also boosting this part. And then we are gonna just tame the higher end here. It's good to have the higher end if you want like a nastier kind of sound. I see we're an octave too high as well, which is something I should have been hearing, but oh well. Although I will say it's a lot easier to hear what melody I'm creating when it's an octave up, because it's kind of hard to differentiate notes in those lower frequencies. So we're going to keep it up for here while I create those. Now let's actually put this down an octave. Now. I will say, I do think these hi-hats are a little bit harsh. I'm going to turn the Foreman down on this one too, and then maybe we'll hit him with some EQ as well. Now, we do need a bit of a Now we do need some melodic elements too, and that's where some nice pads should come in. I have a bunch here. So I think we're just going to loop this for now. And now we just have to get it in the right key. No biggie, right? I seem to be struggling to make the pad match the key of the Reese, so we're going to try and make the Reese match the key of the pad. Ladies and gentlemen, I've finally gotten a combination of a pad and a Reese that are in the same key. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of humbled the hi-hats a little bit. I took off some of their top end, I EQ'd the pad a little bit, and this is what we have so far. What are you doing? Let's circumcise that automation clip a little bit. I have this bit of a vocal segment I have identified as in fact being enjoyable. So let's... And then let's add a bit of ping pong to this. Instead of 12, what if we went down 14? And kept it on stretch. And maybe let's turn the hyperchords down to half. Maybe we add a bit of what am I doing? I'm going crazy in this parking garage. What if instead of the top one we do this? Ladies and gentlemen, I've added a bit of a lead into the song and I've worked on the vocal chops a tad bit, and this is what we have now. And then I think a nice little piano at this little turnaround here could be pretty cool. So let me actually draft out the melody I want first. That does sound kind of nasty. And I know I said piano earlier, and it's a funky sounding piano, but I think I'm going to go with a bit of a lead solo instead. We need some generous processing on this thing. Starting with... Let's put some effector. Let's see, maybe... Let's see if we can make this sound not like doo-doo. Maybe some vibrato could do this thing some good, I reckon. God, I really do hope my phone battery, which is filming me right now, isn't gonna die mid-recording. Smash that like button if you can see me on the phone right now and I haven't had to just cut to OBS. I can't lie, I feel like this definitely needs like something more to fill the space. I kind of want to get out of here. I don't want to stay here for much longer. So I am unfortunately going to cheat a little bit. I am going to just make a little very simple plug here. Nothing crazy. Maybe we turn the decay down a little. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to turn on aimbot for FL Studio, which basically just locks you in a key. Let's put this on the sidechain. I feel like I've got to be ripping off an exact Cloud None for progression here. Let's actually make this in multiple layers. I do quite enjoy having an octave upward. Beef it up, maybe add some delay. And now let's actually change the timbre of the sound itself. I think that sounds kind of cool. The content. Okay, so I think we unclip this and then just OTT it, like nuke it with something. What if we put the lead on? If I just turn off the delay and then maybe nuke the high end. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to what we have. And I think for the second half turnaround, let's just maybe make unique. Okay, that's a bit much. I cannot lie to you all. But let's maybe. And then maybe let's turn on aimbot and maybe have it play harmony. And maybe let's make those harmonies a little bit louder. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're finished. I'm gonna play what I have for you guys, and then I am getting the hell out of here. Without further ado, let me just play the track.